This is another episode of Spectacle program on television Nigerian. And of course, today we'll be talking about Not Too Young to Run. That is, the place of the youth in President Muhammadu Buhari's administration. Of course, the president have just, appointed his cabinet, and we want to know, is an audience participatory program. We want to hear from you. What is your pick, in his appointment? Is it that we have no youth in this country? Or the president has actually forgotten that he signed the Not Too Young to Run bill? I will be introducing to you shortly my guest analyst that will do justice to this. While you do your contribution, you send in your comment, you contribute via your calls. The phone numbers are there on your screen, and you can also send to our, Facebook page. Anything you want to tell us about the cabinet of this administration, this is the program to do it today. Before I go, let me introduce to you the Not Too Young bill. The Not Too Young bill is a campaign which sought to reduce the age limit for running for elected office in Nigeria and globally. The campaign started in support of bills and motions in Nigeria's National Assembly, sponsored by the Tony Nwulu in the House of Representatives and Abdulaziz Nyako in the Senate. The campaign is now global, symbolized by the hashtag Not Too Young to Run. History of Not Too Young to Run bill started with the age reduction bill, popularly known as Not Too Young to Run bill, in a constitutional amendment movement led by young Nigerians. The bill was conceived and pushed by several civil society groups, including Yaga Africa, beginning in May 2016. The group is headed by Samson Ithodo, a human rights activist and a good governance campaigner, who is the executive director of Yaga Africa. The bill was sponsored in House of Representatives by Tony Nwulu and in the Senate by Abdulaziz Nyako. The bill, of course, seeks alteration in Section 65, Section 106, and Section 131, Section 177 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, which is reduced the age of running for elected positions for houses of assembly and houses of representatives from 30 years to 25 years old. Senate and governorship election from 35-year-old to 30-year-old, and office of the president from 40 to 30. An independent candidate in the Nigerian constitution. Of course, the bill seeks that the independent candidate must be added, such that a candidate that does not belong to any party can stand and contest election or electoral offices in this country. Advocacies on April 20th, 2018, the campaigners of the bill met with Nigeria's Vice President Yemi Osinbajo to advocate for the presidency to assent the bill. After approval, the movement sought the All Progressive Congress for reduction in the nomination form fee, as it was tagged at 55 million before it was reduced to 45 million. But the movement wants the fee to be reduced to encourage involvement of youth in politics. Earlier, about 6 political parties had pledged incentives for the Not Too Young to Run movement to encourage participation of young Nigerians in politics. The passage of Not Too Young to Run bill at Nigerian parliamentary was first read at the Nigerian House of Representatives and was passed with votes of 86 to 10 in the Senate on July 26, 2017. And of course, it was also passed by 261 to 23 in House of Representatives in July 27, 2017. The bill passed first and second reading in Nigeria's parliament and was presented to Committee on Constitutional Review for any constitutional amendment to become a law in Nigeria. The amendments needed to be presented to all the House of Assemblies of the 36 states of the Federation, and not less than 24 states are expected to vote yes to the amendment. It was reported by 33 House of Assemblies in Nigeria voted yes, except Zamfara, Lagos, and Kano. The bill was rejected by Taraba State of Assembly initially, but was reversed after the group made a press release inaugurating the Taraba House of Assembly into the Hall of Shame on February 16, 2019. The convener gave the Nigerian Parliament and their president 30 days ultimatum to conclude the process of passage and signing of the bill into law. Assent of Not Too Young to Run bill was done in April 2018. The Nigerian Senate resolved to transmit the Not Too Young to Run bill to the President of Nigeria on May 21st in 2018. 55 youth-led organizations gave President Buhari an 8-day ultimatum to assent on the bill on 29th May 2018. Of course, Nigerian President Buhari announced in his Democracy Day national address that he planned to sign the bill into law. He subsequently signed the bill on the 31st of May 2018. On May 31st, 2018, Muhammadu Buhari, the president, signed the Not Too Young to Run bill into law, and therefore it has become law. But we have political controversies. There was a controversy that the Not Too Young to Run bill was removed from the Constitution Review, as reported during the Nigeria's Constitutional Review. However, that fact we cannot ascertain. But with the appointment of Mr. President's cabinet, we are beginning to smell the rat, and is a topic I want my guests to do justice to it, and of course, your take from out there. The phone numbers are displayed on your screen, and of course, you can reach us even on our Facebook platform and drop your comment in our social media platforms are displayed on the screen. Shortly after this timeout, I'll be with you.
You might not know the depth, you might not know the weight, but if you join me, Eunice Johnson, on Issues of the Moment, you definitely will find out all the answers you are looking for regarding burning issues ranging from politics, religion, economy, just name it. Issues of the Moment is your information hub.
Of course, welcome back to the program. And like I said, there are guests that will be doing justice to it. And with me in the studio is Comrade Reginald Nnabwe. You're welcome to a spectacle program on television Nigerian. Thank you, sir. And again, the second guest is Comrade Felix Great. Of course, both of them are far-right activists. Of course, you are the president of African Industrial Revolution. And I know you'll be talking from that aspect too. Now, the president just appointed his cabinet, 43 ministerial cabinet. And of course, we do not find the place of the youth in it. And we wish that we discuss this matter, because if we say that the youth, the future belongs to the youth, we want to ask about the future of Nigeria. So that is why you guys are here today. And of course, our audience out there will contribute, and you do justice to the analysis. What do you think about the cabinet of Mr. President?
Thank you very much. First of all, from the very beginning, I've always believed that it is high time that we realize that if the elders do not believe that the youth have gotten to the point where they can assume leadership, then we have failed fundamentally as parents. I remember when the second tenure of Mr. President came, I personally believe that Mr. President has served Nigeria as an individual for a very, very long time. But my personal opinion was that my president had become, he's no longer a young man. And because he's no longer a young man, he's not going to be able to, he won't be able to meet the daily demands of governance. But now we have come to the point where, yes, okay, the second tenure has come. But the question is, if at this stage, I want to ask myself, if at this age, my president does not believe that even his own sons are capable of running the nation, don't you think that my president has failed as a father? I'm privileged to be seated here. I have 4 kids. 3 of my sons have graduated from the university. My last child is in her final year in the university, my daughter. But sitting here, of all that I am doing, I believe very strongly that in a short time from now, I should be able to allow my sons to run the affairs of my businesses along the lines of their counterparts across the surface of the earth. Here we are as a nation, we are still seated. We are still seated in a position where we have our fathers. In fact, some of our fathers, they are no longer fathers now, they are great-grandfathers. They are still running the affairs of the nation. Now, if we find ourselves in this situation, it means that the youths are no longer existent. Because you see, the future of the nation, like they said, belongs to the youth. When is the future going to arrive? If those who are at 40, 45, 40, 50 years old have not even been given an opportunity to be in the affairs of leadership.
Of course, the youngest among them is 46.
Then what is happening to us? What are you saying? Are you saying that within the millions of youths that are scattered, millions of youths that have been trained in the universities, many have graduated and many today are not being able to work? Are you saying that we do not have enough persons to be able to assume leadership? Are you saying that we must keep recycling our leaders from the past who ran us when they were 30, 31, some of them were 20-something years old when they had access to leadership? Are you saying that we do not have young men and young women who have the capacity, who have the mindset, and who have the zeal to face the numerous challenges that we have encountered as a nation and to conquer it? If that is the case, then Nigeria is on a very wrong path, sir.
Well,
that is my submission.
Thank you, Reginald. And of course, you hit some point that the future, like Pope John Paul will say, is now, not tomorrow. Comrade Felix, the situation we are in the country now, do you see much future for this country in this cabinet?
Thanks for having me. I'd like to unequivocally state that the Nigerian youth are a critical stakeholder and a critical currency in the Nigerian project.
Yeah.
They're not too young to run. It's been a long walk. It's been a long struggle that's sustained over time. The agitation has been on the run. It has been on the run over time. Yeah. Good enough or commendably, under President Muhammadu Buhari, the bill was signed into law, and it will go down in the annals of history that he made that very commendable move. But we expected a corroborative action after the election. We are very, very expectant and positive that he will give credence to signing that bill into law by giving you the right placement in his cabinet. But I must tell you that Nigerian youth are in totality disappointed at the nominees. We cannot continue to sleep while other climes make unprecedented development. In this part of the world, there's little or no consideration for the youth. In other parts of the world, those who are making progressive progress, you see that they exploit and they exploit technology, the creative exuberance, the energy century of the youth. In this part of the world, youths are only good to be used as electoral thugs to cause confusion and chaos during election, and after the election, they are abandoned to continue to wallow.
That is the charlatanism.
We cannot continue like this. It's very, very disheartening. that President Muhammadu Buhari, with a massive show of support from the youth of this country, has no consideration for the youth population of this country, and is very, very open in their ministerial nomination process in the Senate. And we cannot continue on like this anymore.
All right, both of you stand that the president did not treat the issue of the youth in this country positively, no consideration
at all.
What about our youth themselves? You know, you said something that they have become advocates, or they have become thuggish in nature for electoral purposes, electoral, rigging, violence. They use the youth. Their children are abroad. They use the youth in Nigeria to cause mayhem during electoral processes. So can this youth, of course, be seen as capable for ministerial position or even for employment situation?
Let me put, from my little experiences, I had some experiences during the restiveness of the Niger Delta. I was privileged to be participants with some foreign NGOs. I had Niger Delta Development Initiative from the UK, and then we also were able to register YDI, that's Youth Development Initiative, Nigeria. Now, during this period, we were pursuing some projects. We actually were privileged to go to the creeks to talk with the leaders of the agitation. In those days, Ateke Tom Polo, I was privileged to go with some of these white men. And I tell you this, one of the basic things I realized from that program in our associations and in our permutations with the youth.
In your permutation with the youth,
yes.
Let me address the audience. Please, concurrently, we'll be taking your call because we will not have much time. You can send in, or you can call in, you can send text, and of course, you can contribute, make your contribution via the phone numbers showing on your screen. And for the benefit of those who could not see, who are, who have myopia, who have a vision impairment, you can call 081-3701-5949 or 070-5432-7616 and make your contribution. Continue.
Yeah, the chief conveyor of this this action plan that was a white man, Di Davis. He's a Briton from Europe, and in our process of interacting and engaging the youth, we realized that the youths were willing to even do all that we did without payment. All that the youth wanted was to be associated with something positive that was going to create change.
That's nice.
And we went to the creeks, we had meetings, and this was a period where they were kidnapping white men.
Yeah.
And I had Di Davis from the UK, and then we had Jonathan Fell from the UK too, and then we have Habdan Milang.
Okay.
His company was responsible for the program that we're running, Gas to Energy. Okay, because we realized that we could actually harness the power of the gas flare. The gas flare, we could convert the gas flare directly from the flare to electricity and to water, pure water. Now, the youth were so involved. We had people from different parts of the country. I had people from Benue State, where we had. Okay,
sorry, let me pick this call. I know where you are standing.
Okay.
I think this call is not for the program.
Okay. We had youths from various states. Myself, I'm from Imo State, and what we were running was in the Niger Delta. We were doing most of our activities in Port Harcourt and in Bayelsa and in Warri and all the Delta states. And we had people from the north who were participants in this program. And I realized that, you see, the problem of insecurity and the problem of ethnicity that is existing in Nigeria is actually an introduction of the elites.
What about the social vices like courtesan, of course, kidnapping? Is it as a result of joblessness, or as a result that they are not employable, or as a result that the government don't have time for them?
That is what I'm trying to make you understand. That, you see,
hold on there.
Yes, sir.
Hold on there.
Okay.
Hello, you are live on television Nigerian. Hello, you are live on TV Nigerian.
This is Bennett from Wagwanaga.
Okay, Mr. Kenneth, what is your take on the topic of discussion?
Yeah, the place of youth in Nigeria today, right? Well, we are waiting for the youth to become something, to hold an electoral position in this country. It can never happen.
Okay, why?
Yes, even though if it happens, it will still be the children of those that are ruling.
Okay.
Because they'll never allow leadership to leave their family. A governor, after his tenure, he will go to the Senate. From the Senate, the minister, from the minister, if he's not coming back as a governor, his child will come in as a governor. Take, for example, what is happening, the politics happening in Kogi State. Ibrahim Idris is contesting. So many people, if you look at the people contesting in Kogi State, you find out that they are the children of those that have ruled. Why we, the youth, who our parents are not in power, why we will never have that chance. But those that are in power now, they are grooming their child to take over from them. So the youth who don't have somebody in power, it will be very difficult for them to come into power.
Okay, what is the solution you would want to profile to the government, both at the state level and at the national level?
The solution, which would have been better after passing the not too young to run, is the bill. I said at least 5% of the ministerial nominees, at least the youth should be there. If you look from the name,
of course, the youth constitute 60% of the nation's population, and if is 5% not even too small?
Okay. Now, if you look at the names of the nominees now, I believe all of them, the youngest person there is not even up to 67 years. The rest are old. Those are the recycled people who this country before. They are still coming back. What are they bringing again? They don't have the idea. They will give graduating, producing graduates every year. They don't give the chance. They don't give the chance to show what they have for the nation. We keep recycling all these old people. And after then, their children comes in to take over. So it will be very difficult. It will be very difficult. It becomes a difficult.
Thank you.
Just happen. Just like it happens in Kogi State that he used his ruling. The person of the governor, Bello.
All right.
He came in by accident.
He came in by accident?
Yes.
Okay.
He came in by accident.
Okay, he didn't come in because he's not a son of a rich man?
Yes, he came in because there was no alternative for the ruling then. There was no alternative. It was the alternative then.
It's okay. Thank you.
Because he came second in the primary.
Okay, thank you, Kenneth, for calling into our program, and we've taken note of your contribution.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Howard. Now you had Kenneth's contribution that it is impossible except probably a law is enacted from the federal and at the state level. If not, the incumbent and those who have tested power must always continue to pass it to their generation.
I refuse to accept that because
Okay.
you see, transformation first of all begins within the heart of a man.
Give me a moment.
Yes, sir.
I'll be with you.
Okay.
I was asking a question that is it that our youth are unemployable, or because of the social level of social vices, the government is scared of entrusting some responsibilities into their hands, or I don't understand. If we have future, where is the future? The future should be now. So what is your take? And you had the contribution of this man.
Yes.
Want to react into that?
Yes, the caller that just called, he is not far from the truth. I'm the North Central Coordinator of Youth Nigeria Campaign. Okay. In the run-up to the 2019 election, we embarked on massive outreach seminars in partnership with local and international NGOs. What were we doing? It was about capacity building, grooming, preparing the mind of this youth. I was pleasantly surprised that unlike what we are made to understand, what the world is made to understand, that Nigerian youths are lazy, they are not ready, is the contrary. Nigerian youths, with our interaction with youth and the programs we had across the North Central Zone, I realized that Nigerian youths have capacity character and competence for leadership.
And even content.
Unfortunately, the caliber, the category of people we have in the corridor of power today have nothing to do with mentorship. That is why you see that they look at power and political leadership today, that it should be something, they look at it as a monarchical system of government.
Yeah.
Where they want to leave power today, the moment they cannot come back again, they want to plant their stooges there. And their stooges in this sense are their children or what? That's what he was saying. And it has come together. It will surprise you to know that they have weaponized poverty against the Nigerian youth. When election comes, you see money flying all over the place.
Yeah.
And because of the way the country is so bad economically, the way that our youth are not are not financially free, little money, they sell their mandate. Do you understand? Today, you are living as a government. Bring yourself, when you are no longer politically relevant, you want that power to continue to thrive to continue to flow in the family. It cannot continue like that. The narrative that Nigerian youths are not ready, are not competent, and don't have character for leadership is a big lie. You may remember that those who decided the fate of this country, those who rose the motion to declare this state an independent state, did that in the prime of their youth. At 30, most of those in the corridor of power today became what they are today when they were youth. But today, Nigerian youth are too young. At age 40, they consider you too young to even become a local government chairman. Even council. And what I'm saying is it's obvious in the nominee that they sent for screening. With a massive support, I reiterate it again, with a massive support the youth gave to President Muhammadu Buhari, there is no consideration for Nigerian youths. It's unfortunate, it's pathetic, it's disturbing. Then where the future of this country is bleak, in what? Because the youth are the future of this country, whether you like it or not. Look at other climes. I was saying something about exploiting the creative exuberance of the youth. Let me cite an example for you. Look at this popular boxer, Is it Mayweather? Yeah. Mayweather is a black American. If Mayweather were in this country, he would be in the prison or he would have died. Because politicians will exploit his youthful exuberance for their political gains. But look at what they have done. He's one of the richest sportsmen. Look at that they have over there. Yeah. But here in this country, what they know how to do with youth best is to weaponize poverty and exploit and for their political gains. And after the election, you see, the youth are left back. So and that is why we consider that if this trend continue, what they are doing, this country is sitting on the time bomb.
The former president, Olusegun Obasanjo, said it. The African youth are actually sitting on a political time bomb, ready to explode. And he said it last 2 years. And the explosion, he said, will engulf the continent if nothing is done.
That's right.
He's on record. But however, he too participated in the wrong leadership of this nation. Because if you bear me witness, during his reign, I still believe there was no industry, revamped. All were liquidated. However, it is a problem of leadership. What is your submission? Look at the first world countries, the Europe and America. Look at their leadership age. France, Macron got there at 39. Canada, a nice city world country in the Northern America, Justin Trudeau came in at what age? 40. Obama in 2017 in the United States of America came in at what age? 40. And ruled until he became 48 with spectacular 21st century ideology and visions. Is it that we lack visions? And why have we been reduced?
Like I was trying to say before, to hold on a bit. You see, the first tools of change is that from within your heart. Yeah. Now, like the caller said, already the mindset of the average youth is that we cannot. And if your heart believes that you cannot because of the indices that are more conversant in your time, then where do you find the answer to get it done? Now, people who change their world admit that the world could not change. There are people who face the challenges of their time realizing that they are the solutions. See, if there is a problem, the problem already is existing.
All right.
And which is...
Okay. Shortly, after this time out, I'll be with you.
This is Television Nigerian, a broadcast network committed to serving you the very best in online and offline television programming. Situated in the serene environment of Guzape, Abuja FCT, TVN, as it is fondly called, caters to a wide variety of audience via carefully orchestrated mind-blowing programs in the areas of fashion, business, politics, entertainment, religion, movies, food and health, culture and lifestyle, events around the globe, sports, and foreign news. Whatever your inclination, we've got you completely covered with programs like Issues of the Moment, The Patriot, Daybreak Nigeria, Matter Africa, TVN Business Time, Healthy Living, From the Cradle, Stay Inspired, Entertainment Gist, Movie Hour, Hits Paradise, among others. All designed to keep you thoroughly informed, entertained, at the edge of your seats and yearning for more. A tour around our domain will reveal a highly dedicated staff force and a state-of-the-art
Of course, welcome back to Spectacle. We're still talking about Has Not Too Young to Run and the place of youth in the Nigerian President Muhammadu Buhari's administration and cabinet. And of course, Reginald and Great Felix, they are my guests doing justice to it. And we said it's an audience participatory program. The phone numbers are there on your screen to contribute. Yeah, Mr. Reginald, you were on.
Yes, like I was saying, to change what is the norm, you have to be willing not to look at the norm, but to look beyond the norm. Now, leadership is not given. There is no place where leadership has ever been given. The old bloc never allows the young men to come into power.
Good.
The young men must take leadership.
And would you think the security structure will allow young men to even create a peaceful revolution towards taking power?
Revolution has nothing to do with the physical permutations of life. It has to do with a change in your mental attitude. And I believe that the primary problem that our youth are having is that we have already given up in our hearts. We have assumed that because we are not in power and we do not have the resources to contest with these men, and because of that, we are not going to be able to take over power. But let me tell you this, from my little participation, because I participated in a few programs with the youths and around the country. Recently, we did something in Cairo Federal Housing, where we created the Cairo Neighborhood Development Initiative. The idea of the Neighborhood Development Initiative was to mobilize the entire neighborhood to create change. There will be the federal housing there, the roads were very bad. And the environment insecurity was existing. But when we established the neighborhood development program, our idea was to mobilize the people, because see, where we are missing the point, where the youth are missing the point is in not being able to mobilize, to convince the masses. You see, we need to understand that we have to go beyond the leadership and the political status as it is. For us to be able to take over the political positions, we must first of all be able to engage the grassroots. Leaders must arise from the midst of the people within the situation. Now, assuming, let's say like in Cairo Federal Housing, when young people begin to think creatively, when you begin to solve the problem of your neighborhood, finding solutions to the overwhelming questions that are being asked, what happens is that you will find followership.
Good. That's true.
With the followership, as time goes on,
that is, if you distinguished yourself.
Yes, you must first of all
at your grassroots level.
Yes, you must
show leadership skills.
Yes, you must be able to do that. Let me say this to you. Let me explain something to you. You see, like you said, the developed world. Go and check all those who have assumed leadership as young people. You will realize that they were already having effects.
And they have good mentors.
Yes, they are already having effects. And you know what happens? When you start to show leadership capacity as a young man, mentorship automatically comes because you will have interactions with those who are already in power. And when men see that you have capacity, even though they don't know anything about you, they will be willing to stake a claim upon the future that you already have guaranteed.
And Great Felix, how do youth comes to power now? Reginald just talked about capacity, tenacity, showing up, display at rural level, at any level or any sphere that youth found themselves. Now, youth have these exhibitions already. The issue, another factor of political party factors, affecting the youth, because even our political parties too are for say for the highest bidder in terms of who becomes what. So what is your take about this?
I think
are we in default, or where are we heading to? You understand?
I think he hit the right point.
Yeah.
In the run-up to, after the Not Too Young to Run bill was passed into law, you see, the tradition in time past is this. For you to get to contest for House of Representative election, you must have tried yourself at the level of the local government, maybe State House of Assembly, gone further to, State House of Assembly before you could even give a shot at the National Assembly. But in the 2019 election, it will surprise you to know that young men who had their first outing in contesting for political offices, they gave shots to Senate, and they gave shots to presidency, they gave shots to House of Reps. It was not just, they were not out for a game. They were out with so much resilience, determination, capacity. They had strong followership. When some of them unveiled their blueprint, in fact, the old class, they were scared. They said they gave them a run for their money.
That's correct.
I can cite example. Like in Osun State, we have somebody like Barrister Pelumi Olajengbesi, who was a former student union president, University of Abuja. He was one of our senior students then. He came out massively. When he came out, they say, no, it's just it's gra. And that kind of a statement. But I'm telling you, this man gave his opponent a run for the money. People came after him because he has demonstrated. It was a show. It was a proof of the fact that Nigerian youths are ready. Those who came out, if you see the number of youth that indicated interest in elective offices, and they came out massively with little or no resources at their disposal. You see youth on the street donating to their coffer just to make sure to push them. The revolution we are talking about here is not taken to the street. The revolution, like you rightly said, is a mindset thing. Do you understand? Some of us will not accept the status quo.
Yeah, because
I have to come from
Yes.
a family that have a history of political relevance before I can be a good leader, or before I can have the capacity to contest or to give a shot at a position politically. It's a thing of the mind. The revolution we are talking about. I told you that in the run-up to the general election, 2019 election, we embark on massive campaign. And we got to realize a lot of things. That what has been a hindrance and a barrier was that Not Too Young to Run bill that was not passed. And if you see the outing that youth gave in this election, it was massive. It was unprecedented.
I think
it's a proof of the fact that the time is right for the Nigerian youth to assume power and leadership. That's right.
Okay, this controversy that we are hearing that the bill was actually removed is making the wave. The Senate haven't come out to say the bill wasn't removed out of the appenditures. However, we're still trailing the news. Notwithstanding, when I was running an election, I ran for a councillorship in my place. And then one of my friends, a youth like me, he came out to tell me and said, look, Dan, you don't have money. Don't waste your time. He discouraged me that I don't have money. I should not waste my time. I went home, I thought about it for 24 hours. I said, no. My spirit told me that I was going to win.
That's right.
So I came out.
That's where the winning started.
I never had money, truly. And I did banners, T-shirts, put my pictures there, and started the advocacies from football to women, widows.
Right.
Like that, I started gathering them.
That's right.
I went to the government house, pinched myself with the deputy governor, you understand, of Benue State then, now the current deputy governor. And I said, I want to serve.
Yes.
I don't have the capability. I went to meet a comrade. Even the CEO of this company he was the one that paid my fee.
Yes.
And I said, I seek you people to help me, Mr. Philip Hagbesi. You understand? I consulted and I said, look, I need you people's help. I want to run. And I won eventually.
That's right.
And when they removed my name, the party twist removed my name and said, he is too vocal, he's too competent, he will outshine us. And they removed the name. But the deputy governor stood his ground and said, he said, that guy has content.
That's right.
Just leave him. That position is too small for him.
That you see now,
that he even need to contest for chairman and governorship.
Let me tell
you. This is where we are.
You see, that is...
So that mentality of you don't have money, don't waste your time. How do we stop it from the brains and the mind and the heart of the youth?
Do you know that if you have blind men don't want blind men leading them. They want men with two eyes to lead them.
Exactly.
So when a blind man finds a man with capacity to see, he wants to follow. The problem is not the money or the capability, like you said. It is the arrangement of your agenda. When you do a proper agenda, propaganda is proper agenda, which was what you did.
Yes.
First of all, you reached out to the people you can reach out to.
Yes.
You see, you cannot
you
cannot put a roadblock for yourself already before you start the journey.
Yeah.
Now, there are persons that you can reach. If it's your friends, your group of friends that you can sell the idea to, you sell your idea. But you see, you cannot sell ideas to the youth if you are not capable. Exactly. You see, where the youth are having problem is that we have a lot of mediocre youth who want to come and represent the youth. Yeah. But it's not going to work. But when youths find men who are men of integrity and men of vision, see, they will follow. Leadership of the youth has to be earned. It is not given. But you must have a proper agenda. You must be able to sell yourself effectively. Yeah. And when you are able to sell yourself, see, the politics of Nigeria, 2023 is the last time that politics will be based on money. After now, what is going to happen is that politics will be based on the content of your person and the vision that you have articulated.
And not even partisan.
Yes, and let me tell you something. The time is coming when individual candidates will begin to win the elections.
Of course, in the bill, yes. We advocated and agitated for it. Yes. Independent candidature.
Yes.
Whereby you don't have to belong to any political party before you seek election.
They won't pass it because a two-thirds of them will not return to that house if they pass that.
If they passed it. Yeah, so the corruption will have to continue, to marginalize or scrutinize the youth capacities.
Let me say this to you. Sorry, sir. Let me tell you this. Something is happening in Nigeria that many people are not fully aware of. The reason why we are where we are is because we lost our jobs. And because the youths didn't have work. And because when you don't have work, you don't earn money. And when you don't earn money, you are poor. And because you're poor, they will buy your votes and buy your consciences. Yeah. But let me tell you something. There is a revolution that has been taking place in Nigeria. The industrial revolution is on. Okay. And I'm telling you something, in the next 5 years, there will be enough jobs for every youth to have access to work. And when we have access to work and we have begun to earn money, we will no longer be the poor individuals that you can maneuver and manipulate with some carrots. Okay. And when that happens, you will see that Nigeria, we have come to the prime. We have arrived back to where we were. The industries are rising. Something is happening. The race is on now for each state to begin to look at industries. I don't know if you have been following. I have been following some few persons. There's a lady on Twitter that is always showing us what is happening, how many states are opening up factories, moribund industries are returning back online. Are you getting me? But what I'm saying to you
is that happening in your state?
You need
moribund industries, are they your governor revamping them?
Well, I think the governor is supposed to change the narrative in his second tenure.
This is the second tenure already?
This is the second and the last tenure. So this is the time he has to redeem all that he has not done. That was expected of him.
It's okay.
Yeah. See, you see now, like I'm glad you asked the question. You see, the average youth does not even know the resources that are in their respective
yes,
villages.
they don't even have the map.
You see, first of all, it's a mindset. I keep saying it to my friends. I say, how many of us know the resources, the natural resources that are coming out from our villages?
Just at our backyard.
Yes, one. You want to
our
come
front yard.
You want to come and lead Nigeria. You want to be a senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. You want to be a member of the House Representatives of Nigeria. You want to be a local government chairman. But right there, sitting down in the city where you are, you don't even know the natural resources that are in your villages. Now, number one, if you knew what they were and then you asked questions about the status of the natural resources of your village, if you went back to your village to ask the questions first, and then you begin to look at how do we harness and to process, because it is processing that creates the change first. And you begin to ask questions on how do we even begin to process the resources that is in my village? You will know, you know what happens? Immediately you have begun to assume responsibility. And charity begins at home. If you are not able to think about creating change from where you are coming from, how are you going to now create change from where we are going to? The youth must go back, and I'm telling you the truth that there is an upward movement in industrialization. The states are moving on, but majority of the youth are not even aware.
It's okay.
We need to get the youth to begin to think back.
Okay, for the factor of another program, it's nice having you. Your last shot, just in 10 seconds.
All right, thank you so much. Once again, I want to reiterate that the Nigerian youth are a critical currency in the Nigerian project.
Okay.
The government must give the youth the right placement and attention to position the youth for the future, because the youth are the future, and the time for the future is now.
And you see Mr. President doing that again?
I think he still have opportunity to correct the status quo.
Okay, thank you.
So we are expecting him to do the needful.
All right, thank you very much. That was spectacle program on TVN today, and of course we're talking about the not too young to run. The appointment, the cabinet of Mr. President is questionable to some of us youth, and we are bringing it to the limelight, like you've heard from the analyst. Correctional procedures or amendment has to be done into this cabinet and even their entire administration. Once again, I'm your host, Daniel Atai. Thanks for watching. We'll be with you again with another spectacular topic. God bless you.
Thank you.